Here we are, coming to the end of another season. To be honest, I'm not really sure what to make of this season. However, there have been some truly shocking performances. Absolutely unacceptable. But you have teams like Manchester City who have won 18 out of the last 20 games, which is unreal and exceptional. But then you've got teams like Chelsea who, let's be honest, should have been winning the league this season, but they didn't. They didn't even challenge, let alone win it, which is just unacceptable. Absolutely ridiculous. With Leicester City, they've overachieved this season. They've been brilliant, let's be honest. I know they've lost games that they should have won, but I think they've been exceptional as well this season. And then you got Manchester United, who I'm kind of sitting on the fence because I guess you could say they have improved from last season, being in second position, but they haven't challenged for the league title, so what's the point in finishing second if you're not going to challenge? Then you've got West Ham, who they've overachieved as well. They could potentially make the top four. Even if they don't, it's been a really good season. Tottenham Hotspur, eh, obviously Mourinho's supposed to come in, and at one point it looked like they're going to challenge for the title, but that kind of fell away. I think it seems they've had a pretty poor season, but they could still potentially make the Champions League, so I don't know what to make of this one. Then you got Liverpool, who it's been a massive drop off from last season. Obviously, they have had injuries, so that's a massive factor, but even so, they've dropped points and lost games that they should have won, so it's been a really poor season. With Everton, they had a really good start to the season, so to see them in 8th right now is shocking. They should be in a Champions League spot, but I think they've really blown it. Maybe it goes to show just how bad they are, but it's been a waste of a season. Then you've got Arsenal, who, how on earth are they in 9th right now? That's a shocking season. I think that they really need to add some players to that squad because I think this is where Arsenal is right now. They're a team that are just in the top 10 and could potentially be a mid-table side next season if they don't improve. Absolutely shocking. And then Aston Villa, who have improved from last season, nearly got relegated, and now they're a top 10 team, so very, very good. Going to the bottom half of the table, we've got Leeds United. Excuse me, exceptional season. They've stayed up, and they could make the top 10, so very, very good season. And then look at the rest of these teams. Absolutely shocking. What is going on in the bottom half of the table? Now, I know it's called the bottom half for a reason. Most of these sides are just absolutely awful, but I think it's getting worse every season. Sheffield United, only 17 points. And what's even more unreal is that they finished in the top 10 last season. And at one point, they were on the verge of making the Champions League, finishing in the top 4. I, I there's nothing really you can say about that apart from the fact that what an absolute shocking season. Then you got teams like West Brom and Fulham who I thought they would actually stay up this season because they had brilliant seasons. Obviously in the Championship before that. Obviously it didn't work out like that. And then you've got Wolves, Palace, Brighton, Southampton, Newcastle, Burnley. I might have said Burnley twice. I think all these teams really need to go into the transfer window and bring in some quality players because if they have the same kind of season next season as they have this season, some of these teams are going to be relegated because it has been an awful season for a lot of these teams. Like what happened with Southampton? Like at one point they were in the top 4 and it looked like they're going to finish maybe not in the top 4 but maybe in a European spot. But it seems like that really early season form just evaporated because they barely won any games since I can't remember the last time they won. I think they beat Liverpool like a couple of months ago, but that's it. I can't remember them winning like a lot of games recently. So it's been terrible. Obviously Burnley. I think Burnley. Obviously they've had a couple of good seasons in the Premier League. It seems to be that every 2 seasons they have a good season, but this happens to be the bad one. Newcastle, they're getting worse every season. I think back when what's his name, Benitez was in charge. They weren't playing great, but they were getting results, and it looked like they were getting better every season under him. But then he left, and then I can't remember the managers. What's his name? I was gonna say Mike Ashley. Um, anyway, the Newcastle manager. I don't. Ever since he's come in, I think he had a decent season in his first season, but then every year things have been getting worse. I'm not sure if that's because they're not bringing in any players, but you know they probably should have gone relegated this season. If we're being honest, I think they've gotten kind of lucky because teams like Fulham and West Brom, they've just been so bad that Newcastle has stayed up. So they've gotten lucky this season, but they need to bring it next season because I think I've got them going down next season because I just think they've been so bad the last couple of seasons that that trend is going to see them going down. Then you got teams like Brighton. Oh yeah, Brighton. I think they're going down as well. It's going to happen eventually. I think that Graham Potter is a good manager, but it just seems to be that this Brighton team is just awful. Like the style of play is good, but they're just not scoring enough goals. They're conceding, and it's just truly shocking all around. So something needs to change. Um, yeah. Then there's Wolves as well. I don't think I mentioned them yet. I think Wolves. It's been a pretty poor season. I think they had a good start. They won a couple of games, but they've just been getting beat every week. And I think that striker position has been a real problem for them this season. Obviously, Raul Jimenez got injured, so that was a massive void that was left. But they haven't really solved that problem, so they're not really scoring goals. And now they're conceding goals. Looks like they're really short of confidence. They just got beat 4-0 by Burnley a couple of weeks ago, so that was a terrible result. But once again, looking at all these bottom 10 teams, they really need to improve for next season because you've got teams like Norwich and Watford who got relegated a couple of seasons ago. They'll be wanting to come back and, prove a point. I'm thinking both those sides will stay up next season, so yeah, some of these sides will be getting relegated. So they've got to bring it, and yeah, that's basically the review. Um, yeah, what a shocking season.